Here's a quick update to the Reddit story titled, "Entitled Uncle Wants Me to Fund and Co-Sign on a Loan for a Home." The OP does a really quick recap. It goes, "Uncle called me to ask to co-sign on a loan for a house he wants to buy. He is coming to me instead of getting money from his brothers who actually owe him money. He wants a house to have more space for his family because his kids are getting married. In our culture, multi-generational homes are normal. I, of course, said no." To the update. Visited my mom yesterday so she can go trick-or-treating with us. Got some more information from her about this that actually made me laugh out loud at how ridiculous, entitled, and delusional this ask is. Not only did they ask me to co-sign on a loan, they also asked my dad to quote-unquote help fund the down payment. Fairly certain that by help, they mean pay the entire down payment. My dad said no. My uncle apparently can get a loan, but it's not enough for what they want. What they want is a 2-family home relatively close to the city near where we live. They do not want to go too far, which is what they would have to do based on a loan he can get, and they only want a multi-family home so they can rent out one unit. Their grand idea is for my dad to pay the down payment, me to co-sign so they can get a more expensive home, rent out one unit at the house to help pay the mortgage, and they will pay my dad back as they can. They could not even suggest that the rental income will go straight to my dad. They went from going to the people who actually owe them money to asking my dad and I to buy them a home. My relatives have a history of entitlement, but this has gone beyond anything they've actually done before. I am still flabbergasted that they thought they can even ask this of me and my dad. Wow, the entitlement of the OP's uncle. They're basically asking for a free multi-unit home. The uncle wants to buy a bigger home that's closer to the city and rent one house, but yet doesn't even want to pay back or get the money back from his own brother, but instead use the money from OP's dad to put that down for a down payment for a house and then rent out one unit to help pay the mortgage. What? Are you serious? What about paying back the OP or trying to get back your money from your brothers, OP's uncle? Oh, the entitlement just makes me so frustrated. And I can see why the OP just laughed out loud about the entitlement of this situation. But let's see what other commenters have to say about this. First commenter says, "My brother-in-law asked me to loan him money to buy a house. I said F off. 2 weeks later, asked me to buy a house and let him stay there. I again said get lost. 2 weeks later, asked me to sign a surety so he can get a loan from the bank. This is all after he owed me money for 2 years. That's a complete entitlement. That's similar to what the OP is going through right now." Another commenter says, "The level of entitlement is mind-boggling, and the ones doing the asking seem to be shocked when they get refusals." Exactly. Really? You're going to be shocked at this? You're asking for a free house. I mean, do you know how ridiculous that ask is? Another commenter says, "Even if you were to co-sign on a loan for your uncle, you have no legal binding guarantee that your uncle won't default on the payments, which would then leave you legally on the hook for the loan or mortgage. Don't do it." A follow-up commenter says, "And since uncle would be on the title and can't convict, we have to go through courts to force a sale. This is a serious nightmare fuel." Another commenter responded by saying, "If you can afford to co-sign, then buy it so your name is on the title, then rent it back to them." I think that's not a bad idea. At least you know that the house is under your name and you have the legal rights to do what you want to do. If the uncle defaults or doesn't pay you rent, you have the legal right to kick them out or evict them or do whatever you can. At least the law will be on your side. Anyways, what do you guys think of this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section. And if you like these types of stories, remember to continue to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.